Research for Erdrich's future home of the living God. As shown through Erdrich's future home of the living God, climate degradation is very threatening to the already frail state of women's rights. This is shown through the loss of women's autonomy occurring in times of climate chaos, as well as the influence and power of religious ideologies. Furthermore, this novel serves as a warning to the present and future generation to fight for women's rights and take a stand against climate change. The theme of climate change is very present throughout the Future Home novel. It is not only climate change, but it is a change in the entire society. As Margaret Atwood had stated, it's not climate change, it's everything change. With climate change, we see the world on the brink of extinction, where resources are scarce. This disrupts our view of normal, our social norms, our daily lives, and we are left with chaos and fear for the future. The theme of uncertainty is heavily emphasized throughout the novel as it relates to climate change, where we see that only a few people have knowledge of what's happening and so many people live in ignorance. As Margaret Atwood and Louise Erdrich had stated, it's about things falling apart, about the chaos in the wake of a disaster, and about how little we know when we need information the most. It is about how vulnerable women's rights are as well. By using uncertainty as a stylistic choice where nobody knows what's happening and nobody knows why things are happening, Urges shows us the danger and the harmfulness of uncertainty and the importance of educating oneself. In terms of Catholic religion, it is also heavily emphasized throughout the novel as the Puritan Church takes over the state to control procreation. Religious ideologies have also had an impact on global policies all over the world. For one, the United Nations are heavily divided over issues like gender, sexual freedoms, and reproductive rights because of the Vatican's influence and the religious ideologies. Also, religious values have been shown to take over secular states as well. In contemporary Mexico, for example, religious values often govern women's rights, although the government and religion are separate. Throughout the novel, Urgis shows us that it is not impossible for religious and often patriarchal values to take over society and that women would suffer from such a change. This book was inspired by specific attacks on women's rights by the American government, such as the gag rule and global gag rule, which cut fundings for programs like family planning, AIDS testing, and to protect young girls. Irvich wrote this novel for the younger generation in response to the anti choice programs and policies, which she stated are about controlling women's bodies. This shows that women's rights are easily depletable and are already in danger. If things like climate change are added, then women are the first to lose their autonomy and human rights. With this novel, urges women to fight for their rights and take a stand against climate change. Thank you very much.